Find product links below and hundreds more videos on my channel.
Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of my review on the Rode VideoMic, Rycote version. And now this is the Rode VideoMic as sold for a long time. As far as I know, it's the exact same unit except with a different shock mount made by Rycote. And now for part 1, which, you'll find links below to part 1, which will have the audio test from this, how directional it was, what it was like with noise in the background, and how much noise came through from the handle, and a comparison with other microphones. So the Zoom H1, the HDDZ, and the Aperture V-Mic. And so there's a lot of things I like about this. I wanted to explain a few things at the end of part 1, but the camera cut off. I think it may have been the limit of the camera. For some reason, it only went to about 23 minutes and then just decided to stop. But it was perfect timing because I just about managed to do all the audio tests without them being disturbed. So that was great. So that's posted as a separate video. And I wanted to post a part 2 anyways and give you a closer look at this microphone and let you know what I think. So I like this microphone. There's lots of things to like about it. The price is okay compared to most things at its price range, and it's good, decent value for money. Not my ideal choice of microphone, and for me, ideally I would have liked it even smaller than this, which is what I'm going to get with the VideoMic Pro, which is already on the way, should arrive today. And still I would have preferred a louder signal. For example, at a similar price point, the Aperture V-Mic gave a very similar audio quality, but in a smaller size, quite noticeably smaller. Let me actually remove this here. So for a similar sort of price, I believe the Aperture gives a little bit of better value. Really depends on your use. The shock mount on it isn't as good, but overall, it's a nice compact microphone that I think does a pretty good job in comparison. It was a little louder than this. And so again, with if you want a louder version of this that gives you just a higher signal, then they do have the Pro version, which costs more, but I think is still at a really, okay price range. And so, like I said, that's gonna have a review soon. Now, another thing is that I would have liked to see this come with a fur windscreen. A lot of companies don't do that. They'll only send you this, which probably costs maybe 10p or a pound or whatever it was, but they're really, really cheap. And in my opinion, it would be really nice if they for when you're paying for pretty nice, pretty okay price for a microphone, I would like to receive a fur windscreen with it. For example, like with the V-Mic, where they give you a very, very decent setup, which actually covers the entire microphone, including the mount, which I think is really, really a nice option and really adds to the value of the Aperture. So with regards to size and weight, let me show you this here. It's pretty okay. It's size-wise compared to this 5D here. That's a 5D Mark III with a Samyang 85mm lens. So, it's a pretty okay, pretty usable size. A little big for the bag. So, it just takes up a little more space than I'd want it to in the bag compared to some other microphones which just don't have this large area because of the larger mount. However, it does, allow it to sort of squeeze a little bit into a smaller area. And I imagine this shock mount is strong enough to get squeezed a little bit without being damaged. And this thing uses a 9-volt battery, which is okay. Not ideal. I would have preferred something, a little more common. But this isn't hard to find. So, double A's would have probably been better, but this is totally okay. And it does have some, well, a little button here. I'll show you this. It does have a little button here to reduce the amount of gain coming out of this microphone. The volume, let me actually focus this up close so you can see this. Okay, so we have these little tiny little buttons here with LEDs above them, and those will let you lower the gain on this, so lower the volume even further. And because this isn't a very loud microphone anyways, I don't think I would ever use this here, but well, you know, it's included, you don't have to use it. And that fits in there like that. It's actually nice and easy to remove. You know, some batteries are annoying to remove, so if you had to, you know, change this in the middle of use, which I don't think you should need to, because it does last for a very long time. So but if you did need to, it's easy to remove with your finger. You don't have to try and find a screwdriver or something just to be able to remove the battery, which is a bit of an annoying issue with some electronics. Now, if I get this thing back on there somehow, there we go. Okay, let me get this back in focus. There we go. Okay, so, by the way, this is being shot on the Sony A7, and the audio you're hearing is the HTDZ HT320A, which you'll be able to find in my comparisons down below. So, overall, what do I think of this? I think it's good value. The fact that it has a low cut is, you know, again, it's one of those things that where I personally wouldn't use it, but it's nice that they added it. And I did, you know, do a bit of a test with this in the in part 1, but it wasn't a proper test because I wasn't out where there was something for this to really block. So the noise I had in the background wasn't the right noise for this to block it, or you know, to lower that noise. The button here is, I would prefer a button which is just one button for on off, because this, you know, trying to get it right in the middle and not get it to jump over to the low cut filter just takes a little more effort and a little more attention than if I could just turn it on and go. I like the fact that it has an LED light. I think that's great, because some microphones and some units don't have, so, you know, for example, things like audio recorders and things, they don't have any indication of when they're on or not, and then you end up with a dead battery. That happens to me very often with a lot of things, especially my my HTDZ. However, with the HTDZ, the battery also lasts for hundreds of hours, so so it's not been a problem so far, because, you know, if I do go to a job, the worst, you know, if I leave it on for a few hours, it's not going to run out. With the Zoom H1, I have no such luck. The battery will run out very, very quickly, and it's one of the reasons I would ideally like to upgrade the Zoom H1 at some point. So I hope that I've gone over everything here. Haven't really spoken much about the shock mount, but, you know, it's just an okay shock mount, does its job. The included windscreen isn't ideal, you know, it's better than nothing. And the hot shoe mount works well, you know, as it should. Connects to the camera like this. There we go. Connects to the camera. And yeah, pretty nice. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this hasn't been too long. I hope I've gone over all the points that you guys would have wanted to find out about this. I think it's a nice microphone. I think it's at a fair price point, but I think they could have maybe given a little more for that price. But yeah, compared to, you know, most other competitors, nodding, you know, obviously the Chinese stuff will sometimes get, you know, better value for money. However, considering this is not a Chinese product, and, you know, the market that it's competing with in, you know, in America and in the UK, I think it's nice and I like it. And, you know, I've been happy with the short time I've used this. So thank you for watching. Hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos, and check out part 1 down below. And I'll see you soon.